Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Inspire, our new show here on Inspiration 98.7. My name is Shonda Orlesia, and today is an extra special show because I have one of my good friends on here. Oh my God, when I tell you good friends, I'm so turn that down, the speaker down, Lord, I'm sorry. When I tell y'all I'm so excited about my special guest for today, oh my God, we can talk for hours. She is my favorite. And I met her in person, I think it was either once or twice, but her spirit is such amazing. And I got her here again. I brought her here before and I got her back again, y'all. She's a pastor. Her husband, I think, is a pastor, if I'm not mistaken. But they have a dynamic radio station. They also does podcasts. Um, what can I say about this woman? She's an author, um, counselor, you name it, that's her. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring her up. Dr. Rhonda Travitt. Dr. Rhonda,
Hi, how are
how
you,
are
Shonda?
you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me on your show again.
How are you? How have you been?
I have
How have
been
you been?
doing I have been doing well, working through this pandemic and just being creative and enjoying life and finding my peace and taking care of self-care and taking care of other people, which is something I enjoy.
Amen. Amen. Self-care, that's something I needed to start doing because I take care of everybody.
We Most of us women do, so we have to take time for ourselves and take care of
Y-
ourselves so that we'll be healthy and mentally alert to take care of everybody else. And I know you have such a sweetheart, so I know you got to take care of yourself. So you're such a giving
Yeah,
person.
I I am going to start doing that. I am going to start taking care of myself.
Good.
So for those listeners that are just joining you, I know everybody met before, but just go ahead and let the listeners know a little bit about you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for allowing me into your homes tonight. I'm Dr. Rhonda Travitt. I'm the pastor, my husband and I pastor at Restoring the Years Global Ministries. I'm an author, certified Christian. My master's is in Christian counseling, doctorate in divinity and theology. Also, and I have a 501c3 called Game Changers. And what Game Changers is a mentorship program for juveniles as well as men and women that have been in the penal system that are returning back into society. And that's who
Wow.
I am.
Wow.
Wife and
So
mother.
for those, see, and that right there, see, that's what this show is about, inspiring. See, and you work with the people that has been in the juvenile system and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you go about helping those people?
Well, the first thing we have to do is just meet people where they are. Don't expect people to change overnight. Meet them where they are. Have a genuine heart. I don't think you can do it without having a genuine heart for people and wanting to see them do better. Don't bring up their past to them. Just keep talking and people will want to do better because you the words we say. I told somebody, I'm so proud of you, and I was genuinely proud of her, and I didn't think that was a big deal. And she just started crying, and she's like 40, and that was because she said no one had ever told her that they were proud of her. So just those little things that we can do, um, meeting people where they are and encouraging them, mentally and physically, emotionally, first and foremost, getting inside that head and having that mind transform just by encouragement, simple words.
So you say, okay, so you say simple words. Like for instance, um, I have a nephew slash cousin because I look at him as my nephew more than I do my cousin. He's been locked up, literally. since he was 14 years old. So he had no life, really.
Mm.
And all he know right now is the jail system. And through him being in the jail system, he done lost his grandmother, the woman that raised him, and he done lost a sister. And he was not able to go to either one of their services.
Mm.
How would I, because they're thinking about letting him go either next year or the year after next. But he's been in there since he was 14. So I want to say 2005 or 6 he's been in there.
Yes.
And how would I go about talking to him and dealing with him in, in that sense about, I let him know when they do say, he called and I say, okay, next time you tell him I love him and I miss him. I still gonna whoop him when he get out because he was with me before he went in. But tell him I love him and let him know. How would I kind of embrace him without him kind of drawing back from me when he come out?
Wow, that's a very good question. I have a friend that is now a friend who did 25 years. So, yeah, 25 years. And I think he celebrated 3 or 4 years now out. And the first thing I would do is you have to just really try to have a structured environment
Hmm.
because they are
Hmm.
very structured. Their lifestyles are very structured. And the
Hmm.
environment should not be so the same. Because sometimes if you put people in the same environment around the same people, I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about friends, then
Hmm. Hmm.
oftentimes you can expect the same thing. But I would say just have some things structured, no judgments at that time, but do have some structure with love, and keep it
Okay.
real because that's one thing they love is about just keeping it real. Dr. Rhonda, you just keep it real because I say what I mean. I mean what I say, but I say it in love and saying it with a smile. But they know that I mean it and they know it comes from a certain place and they can feel
Yeah.
that. And yeah, so if they can feel your love and that's how I would embrace it.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
with an
God.
understanding
So how?
because life has
Go ahead.
changed so much. You know,
Yes.
if you just think 10 years ago, where we were and where we are now, and when they come out into society, yeah,
Wait a minute. I'm thinking. 10 years ago, what was 2011?
2011, man, two, yeah. But life has changed. The computers have changed, and
Right.
laptops have changed since then. Our phones have changed. You know, some of them had
Yeah.
beepers back then.
Yeah. They still. No, wait a minute. What was the other one? What is it, the two-way flip phone or something like that they had back then too?
Oh yes, yes, yeah. See, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's like, because I've also had someone in my life that had done like 7 years. And when they got out, they seen a baby and they was like not even a baby, it was like a toddler. And because they had been around a lot of grown people through the whole thing, looking at a child to them was like, oh my God, that's a little person. And I've actually seen them draw back like this when they seen that little person. So I can imagine how someone has been in there like 30, 40 years come out, and then when they come out, the sun real bright because they probably ain't seen the real sunshine in a while.
Yes,
I just want to know how to talk to them. That's
yeah,
all. And you said just use love and kindness.
yeah, and take your time and know that although they're older, but time
Hmm.
stopped. Time
Yeah.
stopped in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. In a lot of ways, time stopped. So just
Hmm.
helping people to adapt back into
Hmm.
society. Um, One of the things they told me that they don't like is just somebody saying, get a grip. They say, if you've never been locked up in a place, a 4x4 or something like that, and for
Hmm.
years, then how can you come and just tell me to get a grip? I'm holding on for dear life. I'm afraid. Just imagine, okay, Your cousin, your nephew,
Mhm.
he has not driven a car. This guy had to learn to
Mhm.
drive all over again. 25 years, no license. So there's a lot of things that come with that. It's a lot of things, and
Mhm.
it takes a heart of love. And I know you have that. And I surround myself with people that have a heart of love. Because if you can't love people, people have hard enough time, just coming in
Yeah.
and being themselves every day. So we have to just have a heart
Yeah.
of love and sternness at the same time. I'm not giving you a pass to be who you were. I give you a pass to be better.
Good question. You said that. I'm glad you said that. How do you keep them from going back to where they were, or going back to be around the people that they were around?
Well, we have to try. What I do in my program is we work in getting them a job. They go through a mentorship program. We put them in a housing when they come out so that
Mhm.
they can get a job. Therefore,
Okay.
try to get them out of the environment, if that's possible, out of the neighborhood, out of the familiarity, so that they can thrive again. Because if you have the same friends, some of them haven't changed, and so if you have the
Okay.
same friends doing the same things, then you'll end up falling into the same things. Idle ground,
Mhm.
idle mind is a devil playground. So just
Yeah.
keep busy. Get your GED. Work on our resume. Let's talk about being better. Women should not, and I tell the women, men should not be a priority when you come out.
Come
You are
on.
the priority in getting yourself together. 9 times out of 10, when they come out and they get in relationships really quickly, it can easily go back in the penal system. So I work with the parole. I worked with District Attorney Joyette Holmes, who handled the Ahmaud
Mhm.
Arbery case, and we had a
Mhm.
very, very successful time during COVID with groups.
Okay.
And so I handle, all ethnic groups, ethnic, black, white, Hispanic, whatever.
Mhm.
And a
Mhm.
problem is a problem. And mentally during COVID, I think we really have to handle people carefully, because COVID
Okay.
really affected people a lot
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
Well, if it
Yeah.
affected
Because a
us
lot of
out
people are
here,
still scared to come out, and then looking at the TV too. They're telling people, well, if you got your vaccination, you don't have to wear your mask outside anymore.
you and I did the same thing, right? I'm wearing
Right.
my mask. I hear what you're
I'm
saying, but
still wearing my mask.
I'm going I'm going to wear my mask. I think everyone should still be very cautious because everything is still relatively new. So wear your mask
Hmm.
until everything, because they have already told you, even though you've taken both shots, you're going to need a booster for the shots you've already taken. So, and
Yes.
then we have
Yeah.
the variant that's coming behind it. So take care of yourself. You have to use, practical wisdom, as well as listening to the doctors. Sometimes you have to say, as for me in my house, right now, we just gonna
Come
wear a
on now.
mask.
Come on now. Come on. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For me in my house, I told my husband, if you go outside because you go to work, just because you're in your truck don't mean you can't wear your mask. You go out and you got COVID, you might as well stay out.
Yes. And people have gotten COVID, I know personally, that have taken both shots. So we shouldn't just be like, oh, I took a shot, I'm better, the world is better. No, this is very still something that's relatively new. The
Hmm.
vaccination is still new. So we have to see a couple of months how this progresses. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So I mean, it's all of this is like really, really crazy. And um, it's new. And you still got people out here trying to do what they want to do. I understand people want to live their life. I get it. I understand it. I know you want to live your life, but still take the necessary precautions to live your life, because you may never know what may happen. Like you said, people that got the vaccination and they still got COVID.
Yeah, there's much to learn, still much to learn, still much research to be done.
Yeah.
with this virus. So I
Hmm.
would just say use wisdom, and you can't tell everybody else, but take care of you. I don't want to take a chance. There's too much that I want to do in life. Um,
Yeah.
and it's mentally exhausting. It's
Yes.
mentally exhausting. So I would rather have my mask on than to be mentally, oh, you're too close, you're too close. Well, you got to
Yeah.
do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this amazing book. So you go ahead and you put that up so they can see the name of it.
Oh,
I put the title down here.
it's Rejection and
It's
Rebellion, the
called,
Twin Towers.
yes, the book, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Rejection and Rebellion, the Twin Towers. Now, I'm gonna let you go ahead and say a little bit of the book, and then I want to discuss some of the things that I seen in this book. So I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about what that means.
Okay. Rejection and Rebellion, the Twin Towers. You remember the Twin Towers in New York, that
Mhm.
they were so big, the biggest towers in New York. So
Mhm.
that's what I consider the biggest towers that we face in life is
Mhm.
self-rejection or rejection from other people, no matter what level. I found that no matter how successful,
Mhm.
educated, or lack thereof, people deal with rejection. And if they're not dealing, sometimes the rejection and rebellion it's a two-headed coin. So it's the same thing. It reacts in different ways. So dealing with rejection, we reject ourselves. We reject
Mhm.
it from by our parents. We feel rejected, self rejection. We don't even have to talk about anybody else. Sometimes we look in the mirror and we reject our own selves. Things that were
Yes.
spoken over us, rejection. And I wanted to write a book that
Mhm.
dealt with, let's talk about it. In the church, we had so many masks, and you expected people to function in such a way
Mhm.
that was impossible if I haven't acknowledged
Mhm.
and confronted past hurt
Mhm.
and past traumas, past rejection, past brokenness. And so I wanted the mask to come down and have a conversation. I didn't know that the book would be a self-help book. It's been in universities, and they taught in it, in Kennesaw State, Australia, to my knowledge. Um, so
Wow.
it's more like a self-help
Wow.
book. It's keep it real kind of book. And it makes us deal from the pulpit to the office to the mayor to the president to the judge to the mom to the dad to the kid who's dealing with it. It hits everything and everybody. So I left no stone unturned.
See, look at that. Now let me ask you a question. You said about church hurt. That's something that I went through and I dealt with. I had church hurt and I didn't go to church for a long, when I tell you a long time. I was
Mm,
at a service and I'm not going to announce the name of the pastor, but he was a visiting pastor for, at the time, a church that I was attending. And it had came to the end of the service. And you know how some guest pastors they may raise an offering for the house pastor. This man said, I'm appalled by this congregation. So everybody looked like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'm appalled that you guys have this amazing pastor here. And you know she's a dynamic pastor, but she around here driving a Hyundai Civic. Why she not driving a Rolls Royce? So we looking like, okay, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Do you know he raised the offering and said, I need people to at least get $100 in your hand. If you got $100, I need you to come stand in this line. If you got $50, I need you to go stand over there in that line. Everybody else, if you got what you can, just go get what you can. I was like, and at this time, I'm new to church because even though my mom was a pastor when I was growing up, My mom never conducted service like that. She would say, give the offering, regular tithes and offering. She didn't do none of that. But when at this time I got turned off, and I was like, okay. So I think in my head, I'm like, okay, this dude trying to pimp the church. I don't think I want to come back. And I ain't go to church for a while. And I want to say, I think this was 2000. It
Wow.
was either 99 or it was either 1999 or either 2000. And I didn't go back to church to 2007. That's how long
Hmm.
I was out of service.
2000 to 2007. 7 years.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Now,
Wow.
but I did stay connected to God because I knew better. I read my Bible and I listened to my gospel every Sunday morning. That was my church. Me reading my Bible, reading to the kids, and me listening to gospel every Sunday for 7 years. That was my church until my brother opened up his church in 2007. And he called me and he said, sis, I'm opening up a church. I want you to come. I got kind of skeptic. I was like, who coming to your church? He said, this is my church. I'm a pastor. I got ordained, me and your sister-in-law. I said, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I want you to come. Now, see, I didn't know it was a setup. Let me tell you what the setup came in. The setup came in is because my brother wanted me to sing on the praise team.
So that was getting you back in there
That
all the
was
way in.
right. And so now I'm officially back all the way in church because I done made full circle on praise team at another church that I go to here.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that church hurt to me. I thought the pastor was trying to like really pimp the church because if I'm getting on the bus to come to church and you driving and the pastor driving a Hyundai Civic, I think she doing pretty good to me.
I'm not gonna drive a Hyundai Civic. I'm a pastor. Because here's the thing.
Right.
Now I'm gonna talk from a pastoral perspective. I understand,
Okay.
the
Yes.
church.
Please do.
Okay.
Please let help me understand.
We're friends, so we can talk. We can dialogue. Um, I drove a Hyundai
Yes,
Civic.
we can talk.
We work hard. Um, the people on the job, your managers, your supervisors, they can drive any kind of car they want. And my mom, even as she had a Mercedes when I was younger, and she was she was an operator, just an operator
Yeah.
at a company, and she wouldn't drive that Mercedes because of people with what people would think. And I don't feel as though Bill Gates, anyone else, should have a better car if I'm doing the work. A pastor works 24/7. We got to bury you. We marry you. We divorce you when you fight with your husband, when you're mentally exhausted, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you don't want me to have a car that's decent for me and my family. I think pastors and the suicide rate of pastors is at an alarming rate. And I think
Wow.
in that instance, um, that was a visiting pastor. Should that person, and this is what I say to people that come to me with what another pastor has done. Am I responsible? Can we hold that person responsible for what he did? But has she ever treated you? Is she begging? Is he begging? But if
Right.
that person said that, sometimes people have come and said things. Oh, we want to do this for her or them, and me and my husband. That's not something we desired. It's something that God made to
Yeah.
put on them their heart, because we don't
Yeah.
ask. We're not like that. But I feel like if you say that God is God, do you mean to tell me that a businessman can drive a better car? I don't think we should live off. This is why I am an entrepreneur, because
Yes,
I,
ma'am.
I I don't think the church gets how hard your pastors work and pray for you. How many times, a real one though, a real one. I'm
Come
not
on,
saying, because
say
you got
it.
a
See,
lot
I
of
think you
them.
need to say. I think you need to say that part again. Say it again. The
Yes,
what? The real one.
a
Okay.
real one. Now I'm
Yes.
I'm seeing some stuff. Honestly, I'm seeing some stuff that I don't like. I see a lot of
Mhm.
stuff they taking up money. It's becoming a business. But the real ones, I want, that are helping. At my church, we've buried people. We've paid for that. I came from a Jewish community. So when I came into the Black community, I was raised in a Jewish community. So coming into the Black community, it's a totally different mindset. All
Okay.
things stay in the Jewish community. They build the stores, the housing, everything. They work together, and they don't look at it like that. If your business it flourishes. And so I came into it, and I had a real big culture shock in a
Mhm.
sense, because I didn't understand why we couldn't work together.
Okay.
Why? And you can see that even in businesses, not just church, but you can see that in businesses. We need to come together as a culture and be
Yeah.
okay. I'm okay with you driving a Mercedes. Just because of my profession, I can't drive one. So I need to have another profession, because I don't want people to think you taking care of me. Does that make
Amen.
sense? Yeah.
Yes.
And so you're doing a talk show. Oh, she shouldn't get paid for that. Yes, you should. It's your talent. You're using your voice. It's your God-given talent. So I believe
Mhm.
that um, a servant is worthy of his hire. I don't have a problem with success with
Yeah.
anyone. I don't have a huge church, but I don't have a problem. I guess I understand now. I didn't understand when I first came in, but I understand now,
Mhm.
the mindset of that. And I don't like what I'm seeing. Everything is an offer.
Mhm.
Let's raise an offer. Let's get an offer. Let's get an offer. Let's get an offer. And it's not about an
Yeah.
offer. Let's build the
It's always
people.
an offering for something.
Come on, let's build the people. So the people, because
Mhm.
if their minds is always that they don't have, then
Mhm.
you, you can't really grow a productive organization. If
Mhm.
you have people that say, "Oh, that's going to be too hard. Your podcast is not going." Do you know there's a lot of podcasters out there, so you have to
Yeah.
get with people that have a vision, like what you have, and that mindset that you
Mhm.
have. So I do understand looking from both perspectives. So I try to give you both perspectives. I do
Yeah. And,
respect yours, because I've been on that side, and I used to pay for prophecies and everything else, girl.
and see, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, at that time, I was. How do you want to say it? I think I was a babe in Christ, so I
Hmm.
didn't know. I didn't know no better. I still consider myself a babe in Christ because I'm still learning. I learn every day, even though that was so long ago. I'm still learning. I'm learning
Yes.
every each and every day. So as I get older and I see what you said, because I do believe if the pastor blessed you in any kind of way, please give that pastor. It's been times that a pastor has blessed me just in a word, and I took money and threw it at because that's how good you blessed me. That word you spoke out of your that God gave you, you spoke out your mouth and it spoke right to me. So I came to church for a reason. That message was for me. So like I said, then I didn't know no better. But
Yeah.
like you said, you do got some people that's kind of crooked still to this day. They're still doing stuff they're not supposed
You
to be
do.
doing.
You really do. You really
Yeah.
do. But I
Yes, you
think
do.
I've learned over the course of time that it works both ways. I'm a
Yeah.
giver. I'm a giver. And so you never
Mhm.
know when I'm going to just walk up and put some money in your pocket or in your hand, or, doing what
Mhm.
I do. So you won't have lack. But if you hold
Yeah.
on to something all the time, these
Yeah.
people probably could never pay me. um During the
Mhm.
COVID, I did my counseling online, and they could just call me via messenger. I didn't charge
Mhm.
anybody for that. When you're a giver, you don't have to use gimmicks. Oh, I'm gonna put that on
Yeah.
a t-shirt. When you're a giver,
I'm
you
trying
don't
to
have to
tell you.
use gimmicks.
Come on, cause I want that shirt. Now, for those that don't understand what you just said, break that down for them. Because a
When you're a
lot of people
giver,
think when you say giving, a lot of people think when you say giving or you're a giver, they automatically go to I gotta give money.
no. Give
See?
of your time, give of your heart, your service, whatever you can do, that will give increase, because the
Yeah.
greatest among us is a servant. In the kingdom, money is the
Mhm.
lowest
Mhm.
level of
Mhm.
finance in the kingdom of God.
Mhm.
There's so many. It's the
Mhm.
anointing, it's the manifestations, it's signs, wonders, and miracles. So when you come down to money, money is only good on this earth realm. So
Come on.
we begin to funnel that. So that lets me know, when I see pastors or people, or even just people, coaches and different people, they use so many gimmicks to
Mhm.
get. Then that tells me you don't have faith in your own product, because you shouldn't have to use a
Mm.
gimmick, because my product speaks for
Yeah.
itself. It'll speak for itself.
Yeah.
My gift, if I the gift will make room for you. If you There's a lot
Yeah.
of times that I have done engagements, I didn't get paid, and I didn't do it to get paid, but by doing it, it opened up bigger doors. So the Bible says
Mhm.
the greatest among you is the servant. Learn to serve, and then learn how to give, freely, of your time, of your service, from your heart. Think about it. It's a principle that works. We have to be able
Mhm.
to give. We have to be able to
Mhm.
give back, because somebody reached back and grabbed me. I made a lot of mistakes as a young girl. I didn't go to jail, but there was stuff I did that I could have.
Yeah.
But I bless
Yes.
God. And so that's where
Yes.
rejection and rebellion comes in too. The twin towers. I don't ever want people to feel that you can't be yourself. Unmasked. I'm not difficult. You may see doctor in front of it, but none of that means nothing if I don't have a loving heart, if I'm not willing to help
Mhm.
somebody along the way, if I can't speak to somebody.
Mhm.
I just don't believe that we should think of ourselves more highly than we ought to. You my
Mhm.
sister. You my sister.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what love is, treating each other kindly. And we really need that right now. With everything in the pandemic and the emotional ups and downs, we need someone in our life. We don't need the abusive friends. I've cut a lot of people out of my life because the
Mm.
pandemic slowed me down, and I realized we didn't have a friendship. That was a one-way relationship.
What?
I think we had to. The pandemic exposed a lot. It exposed people for who they really were. It exposed things about ourselves that we thought we may have been over. And it
Yes.
made you establish boundaries.
Yes.
And I think some
It
of us
really
didn't
did.
have boundaries for people.
And I said that. I said the exact same thing that you said. I think that to me, the pandemic was a blessing and a curse. Cause like you said, it made it made you weed out the people you thought you that were really there for you. And it also brought family members or friends repair their relationship with each other.
Yeah. It
So that's
did.
what I'm like. The God, yeah, God knew what He was doing when this pandemic hit the earth. He really
Yeah,
did.
he
He did.
really did.
Now, yeah, I want to ask you something about a snippet in your book.
Okay.
Okay, so you said for many believers, the seeds of this struggle were planted in their lives beginning as far back as compensation or early childhood. The spirit of rejection and rebellion have become deeply rooted strongholds in the body of Christ.
Absolutely.
What did you mean by that part?
When I said that the seeds of rejection and rebellion had, it went all the way back to conception, meaning
Mm,
that when your mother carried you. See, you sometimes you wondering
mhm,
why little kids just walking around just like they don't, nobody likes me. Because you know what was going on when mama was carrying you.
mhm,
You know,
mhm,
did mom get pregnant out of wedlock? Did she get pregnant um under some bad situations? Was she raped? So and still had
mhm,
you. Just different situations. Maybe I just wasn't ready to have a baby. So then the baby
mm,
feels all of that, all of those
mhm,
emotions. You know, I'm on the inside, the baby's on the inside. So it comes into the world dealing with the at the core of its being, feeling
mm,
rejected, never feeling like I actually fit in. Do I fit in
mm,
anywhere? Where do I fit in? Am I, am I, sometimes they're trying to find their place because we have to go back to the root. What is the root? What did I do? You ever heard people? I counseled a lot of people. And
mm,
one day I had counseled a guy and I said, I want to bring your family in, brought his
mhm,
family in,
mhm,
realized that he was conceived out of an affair. So that, that, yeah. So that helped me and the family to understand why he
mhm.
processed the way that he processed,
Okay.
because he was, you know, um, um, he was born not out of wedlock, but his mom was married to someone and she had an affair. And so
Oh,
that's how
okay.
he was conceived. So that rejection started in the womb. Do I want you? Do I want to have you? And we don't realize everything that we feel scientifically, that baby
Mm.
feels. That's why, if you were depressed, you come out, you got a crying baby all the time. That's sad.
So that's why. Look, so that's why my grandbaby, she was just born on March 11th. That's why she been fighting because her mama fought her whole entire pregnancy. Not
Exactly.
fought
Angry.
physically. She was,
Yes.
yes, yes, okay.
Hmm.
But
So
that baby,
that's
she fight for her. That poor baby, she fight for her bottle. But the crazy part is, she be at peace at the same time. This is one baby I know she will fight the mess out of you until she get her bottle. But when
wow.
she get her bottle,
She all
she's
right.
just a cool bottle. She's a cute little pickle. When she get through, she be so cute, just sleep, and she be just cool, calm, and relaxed. She do.
Yeah.
So I'm understanding. Okay. See, you helping us today, Dr. Ron. You helping us today.
Praise
So I
God.
knew I knew that the baby feels everything that we feel. But I didn't
Hmm.
know that part that like you said, the gentleman that you knew, he was dealing with rejection because of the relationship his mother had with father.
That he
I
had
didn't
no
know that
idea.
it could go that deep. I didn't know.
Yes. Everything that,
Mm,
if you're eating, if you're eating naturally, and it tells you, okay,
mm,
don't eat
mm,
this because of the baby. Take a laxative. You take a laxative and then watch if you're nursing, and then
mm,
watch and see the baby starts running off. So as it is inside the womb. So we feed the baby, but we also feed the baby emotions. And I don't think people thinking about
Mm.
that. And we can feed the baby positive things. That's why people put music on and the baby's calm, or they put
Mhm.
read to the baby and the baby comes out extremely smart, knowing things, just talking mathematical problems, or just putting the little the little tube there
Mhm.
and let them listen. The baby is listening because the baby
Yeah.
hears inside the womb.
Mm.
And then they come
Mm.
out, they want to learn, they start talking earlier. All this is scientific because
Mhm.
my daughter did it with my granddaughter, and everything happened fast. She's been a 4.0 smart girl all the time.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And
I
talking.
didn't look. Whew, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all, at all. Now I want to ask you this last thing about your book, because like I said, this book here, y'all, I'm going to go get mine because I've been reading. Boy, okay, I'm going to go get mine because it seems like it's gonna help. You said in this book that pride will not allow church leaders to expose any weakness. Fear muzzled them with their threats of not being accepted, and godly counsel is avoided.
Yes.
Okay, help us with that
Okay. I said that fear.
one.
Say it one more time. So I wrote the book a while
You
ago.
said that fear muzzle. Okay, pride will not allow church leaders to expose any weakness.
Pride, because I'm gonna stop right there. Pride won't
Okay,
allow leaders to get the help that they need because they feel that they have to be strong for the congregation. So you're
okay.
not dealing with your own self. That's why I talked about self-help, self-care.
Mhm.
You're not taking care of yourself, and you got so much pride until you won't take time, and maybe you need counseling. There are times that you have to sit down. I've trained the ministers in my church because I'm going to take care of my emotional and mental health. You know, every
Mhm.
counselor, I'm a counselor, but I have a counselor. Every counselor needs a counselor. I believe that every pastor needs a sabbatical. You need a time to sit down. You need to be away from the people because people
Okay.
pulling
Okay.
so much out of you and you don't have it. So that's what I mean when I said pride won't allow, or sometimes, oh, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong until you
Mhm.
start to treat because you never acknowledged it. Then you
Mhm.
have this. Now I'm trying to find something to numb what I want to address. So I
Mm.
believe that that's how sexual affairs come along. I believe that
Mm.
that's how drinking, pills,
Mm.
opioids,
Mm.
pills, just everything. Those are doors because you didn't acknowledge it, because you felt
Mhm.
like you had to be prideful. And we don't think that is pride. We just think that
Yeah.
I'm, but you can't be a martyr for anyone, because meaning that I can't give my life for you. God already did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're trying to save and be prideful and be there for them, but you're losing you. So leadership, most leaders, not just pastors, but most leaders, even parents, mothers, especially, we will feel like we can. I gotta keep doing this, but we don't have anyone to take care of us. We have pride. We know I gotta take care of these kids. I gotta go to work, but sometimes we won't admit that I'm tired. It's almost like I'm tired of these
Yeah.
kids. It's a bad thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do be
Yeah.
tired of those
Oh,
kids. Husband too.
Jesus. Come on, speak the name. Come on.
We do. As women, we do. So we
Jesus.
can't be so prideful and not deal with that moment, and then have emotional breakdowns eventually, because we keep piling it. And then we begin to
Mm-hmm.
lash out at each other if we don't address those small things. Start off small, ends up a big thing.
Wow. Wow. Well, at this time, if you guys are tuning in to Inspiration 98.7 or either on Inspiration 98.7 YouTube, if you guys have any questions, you guys can call in. Let me put the number and everything up there so they can call in. You guys can call in to 470-447-0986, and the ID is 945809. If you guys have any questions you want to ask Dr. Rhonda, this is the time now. Or if you want to leave them in the comments, you can leave them in the comments on YouTube, or either go over to my Facebook page, Inspiration 98.7, leave the comments there, questions there, and we'll go ahead and we'll get all of that answered right now while she's here live and in color with us. Because you may miss her. If you don't get them answered right now, you may miss her because she's a very busy woman. Y'all heard her job, doctor, wife. Wait, let me go back. Wife,
Mother,
doctor,
grandmother.
counselor, mother. See, grandmother. She got a whole lot of titles, so y'all better catch her now while she here and she's sharing a little time with us. So come on, let's ask these questions while we got her here with us. Now, it's one more thing that I want to ask you, and then that's ending the part where we were talking about the fear.
Okay.
It says, fear muzzled them with their threats of not being accepted, and godly counsel is avoided. Now, let me ask you a question. Is that why some pastors, when they don't see that all of their congregation is there, is that why they sometimes get a little, what do you want to call it? I don't know what to call it. I guess nervous, scared, or something like that. Is that part of that?
Fear muzzles them. I don't think that it's about the congregation. I think it's about
Okay.
them failing, failing, that muzzle.
Okay.
Fear muzzles them. I don't want to tell you that I'm hurting
Mm-hmm.
because I'm leading you. And if I tell you as a congregation, it's kind of hard to follow a general that is
Mm-hmm.
telling you are having a moment. So we often have our moments and we have to come out and be everything for everybody. That's what I mean. Fear muzzles you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
you won't get the godly help that you need, that pastor needs. You're muzzled
Mm-hmm.
because of fear. You fear that I don't think it could be that they want fear of losing people, but I think it's more
Mm-hmm.
fear of failure. Fear of failure.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is a lot of people, and a lot of people in leadership deal with that, especially
Mm-hmm.
people that are very success oriented, fear of failure,
Mm-hmm.
and so they don't address
Mm-hmm.
issues. And sometimes we
Wow.
self-sabotage. You'll self-sabotage
Mm.
yourself because you fear if I go, fear if I try this. And that's why you have your company has to be right, and don't let anything muzzle your mouth. Talk to somebody,
Okay.
because most
Okay.
pastors have nobody to talk to, believe it or not, because I don't have a lot of friends, really.
Okay.
If I spend 3 or 4 days in the church, then most of my company are my members, but my members are not
Mm-hmm.
my friends. I have to lead
Mm.
them and counsel them. There's a boundary that you have to cross. You can't cross.
Mm.
Counseling and therapy, there's a boundary that your counselor can't cross, even though they've been with you. I've had a counselor for 10 years, but there's a boundary that we understand that we can't cross, because then you can't counsel me, because
Wow.
you know too much, and now we're hanging out, and then I'm not respecting what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Right.
you keep that boundary there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Wow.
wisdom.
Wow.
I
Mm,
love you. You
mm,
do
mm.
such a great interview.
girl. Because this here, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is inspiring. These are the things that we need to know, Dr. Rhonda. And I talk, see, if we just having a conversation, this is how we hang out. This is how me and Dr. Rhonda
Yes.
hang out. And we talk the truth and we keep it real with each other. So
Yes.
that's why I tell everybody I love me some Dr. Rhonda. That's my girl there, y'all. That's my girl.
Yes.
My girl.
And I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I mean, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you don't need me to say that, but I'm so proud that you stepping out and keep going and keep doing what you're doing, and you can see the confidence that you really enjoy what you're doing. And I feel that because I enjoy what I do, and
Yeah.
it shows. It shows. You make people feel comfortable. I can go to
Oh,
a
thank
lot of
you.
other interviews and I don't feel this comfortable. So that's a gift to make
Mm.
people feel comfortable.
Oh, thank you. I try to tell people I'm one of them. A lot of people try to tell me, I think your show needs to be structured. If your show was structured, it'll work this way. No, my show is not gonna be structured because when we're talking, we just chilling. I'm not gonna sit up here because to me, a lot of people when they do interviews, some people just that I mean, and this is my own opinion, everybody. I'm not saying this because this is true. This is my own opinion. Some things, some interviewers, I believe, just interview people to get in their business. Like, who you married, girl? What you do last week, girl? I don't do that. My interview is you tell us what you want us to know about you. As long as it's 100 and you real, that's what this network, my network that I build, Inspiration 98.7 is about. It's about empowering, uplifting and inspiring people to do, live, be who they want to be. Let the people
Yes.
know freely how they feel and what's going on with them. I ain't gotta know that you had a bad day yesterday. Even if you did have a bad day yesterday, you don't look like it today. I don't need to
Amen.
know all. We don't
Oh,
need my listeners don't need to know all that. My listeners want to know the truth. How can I get happy like you are? Or how can I get a business like you did? That's what my listeners want to know. We don't want to know your dirt. We don't
come
want to know your
on.
bedroom business.
Yes.
We
That
don't
that
want to know your bedroom business. We want to know you. We want to know how can I get to where you are and how did you get there? Give me the necessary steps to be successful in life.
that
That's what this
yes.
network is about.
Yes. Well, you know that little emoji that says LOL that we usually do? Laugh out. I
Hmm.
call it love out loud, live out loud. Whatever you
Yes.
do, don't hold back. Put your all
Yeah.
into it. Live. Stop apologizing. Stop feeling
Yeah.
like you have to just fly and not soar. Eagles soar. And you have to be okay being an
Yes.
eagle. Some people are okay being birds. I'm okay. I want to be an eagle. I want to fly high. I want to soar, and I want to see other people
Yes.
soar. And you get you get such a good feeling inside. If God loves a cheerful giver, so you get such a good feeling when you
Yes.
see somebody accomplishing a goal, even if it's just helping somebody that with their reading or bringing it up to speed, writing, so many things, learning how to type, learning how to work that
Hmm.
new cell phone. Oh my gosh, that's a job these
Yes.
days. So I love the
Yes.
younger
Yes.
people. So we all iron sharpens iron because those new cell phones,
Hmm.
I be like, okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
It's
they
funny. It's
inspire
funny
me.
you say. It's funny you say iron sharpen iron because my sister uses that. My older sister, I think she's listening tonight, but my older sister uses that between me and her a lot. Iron sharpen iron. We use that
Yes.
between each other because that's what we call each other. My iron sharpening your iron. I uplift you, you uplift me. We use that a lot with each other. So it's just funny that you just said that.
Uh, Only real warriors understand the language, you know, and we're not
Yes, ma'am.
intimidated to help somebody else. And it's not, my prayer is that women, and especially, will stop being so competitive with one another.
Mm,
We're not in competition. If we build one another
yes.
and we encourage one
Yes.
another, then there's nothing that
Mm-hmm.
we cannot do. We can
Yes.
do so much more building each other up
Mm-hmm.
than we could ever do tearing each other down. And so that
Mm-hmm.
is one of my prayers, that God will help
Yes.
us to really start building each other up. Men as well, building our men up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just taking it to the next level. Seeing your sister just rejoice. It says rejoice with those that rejoice. So I
Yes.
celebrate. But there's often times when you celebrate, but people don't celebrate you. So those are the times you in the pandemic you
Yes.
realized who my friends were.
Come on. I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you, God weeded a whole lot of them out. Come on.
And you have to weed
Mm.
things out when you get ready to go to another level, get ready to do new things, because everybody's not ready. Everybody doesn't want that. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
very satisfied, and there's nothing wrong with being satisfied where
Mm-hmm.
you are. But then some of us, God has put something in us to want to do better, to be more. Because in my younger days, I lost a lot of time. So I want to redeem that time. And there's a song
Mm-hmm.
that I was here. I want people to know that I was here when I'm gone, that I left
Mm-hmm.
something, that I impacted some young lady, some young man. Truth,
Mm-hmm.
trust, and transparency is my women's group. So I want to
Okay.
know that I was truthful, I was transparent, and it was a safe place where they could trust and grow
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be everything, and that you poured into it, because I had someone to do the same for me. They just believed in me,
Yeah.
and that's all it takes. They're not asking you for money, they're not asking for anything. Just believe in me, just
Mm.
talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Rhonda, I can sit up here and I could talk to you for
You
hours,
know we
but
could.
unfortunately, right. But unfortunately, we done came to the end of our show. But you are most welcome anytime to come back on this network anytime you want to because you at home. So you
I
can come
am,
back
I feel that
anytime
way.
you ready. Yes, you can come back anytime you get ready. So before we get off this live, you know what we do, Dr. Rhonda? I want you to give us some inspiration to end the rest of our night with.
Okay. No
Wait,
matter
before
what.
you do that, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, before you do that. If people wanted to contact you or reach you or even get your book, where can they go and find you?
You can find my book on Amazon, anywhere books are sold. You can find it there. Kindle, wherever books are sold, you can find it. You can reach me on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm Dr. Rhonda Travitt. Rhonda Travitt. I'm also a podcast host of Transformation of a Nation podcast and um, Straight Up No Chaser. So I'll be coming back working with those as well. So I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for to do some a lot of new things in this season. So I want to encourage you that whatever your dreams are, that you can do whatever you put your mind to. So you told me to get some inspiration. So I want to
Yes, ma'am.
inspire
Yes, ma'am.
and encourage that whatever your viewers want out of life, speak it, speak it. Come into
Mm.
agreement with yourself first and foremost, and then come into agreement. Have yourself an agreement partner and start to believe in yourself. Do the research on whatever you want to do, and then begin to laugh. There's so many things that hit us in life. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. Please take care of your mental
Mm-hmm.
health. This pandemic did a lot. We see more violence. We saw families come and live together, but we also saw families kill each other because of the stress. They wasn't accustomed to being that, and they lost jobs, and it was forced issues, and people were forced to be caregivers, and they didn't have the finances, and they couldn't put them in the homes or anything. So my thing to you is take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and laugh out loud. Whatever your dream is, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop speaking it. Get with people that support you. Get with people that will
Yes,
celebrate you
ma'am.
and not just tolerate you. I'm Dr. Rhonda Travitt. I'm complete
Yes,
tonight.
yes, ma'am. See, look, you heard that. She complete. Amen. Oh, y'all know I can talk to Dr. Rhonda all day long. Y'all better leave me alone. But we thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Rhonda, for doing this show, Inspired. This is one of our new shows on the network. And I truly appreciate you for being one of our first guests. The show just started this month, at the beginning of this month. And I truly appreciate you. Yes, yes. You are
Ah,
one of our first guests for the new show. Yes,
well, I am totally honored about that. I'm totally honored. I take that as a great sign
yes,
for both
ma'am.
of us.
I knew. I reached out. I was like, okay, Lord, this is a new show. Who can I get to be on this show? So I reached out. There's a lot of people that I reached out to, and there was some people that turned it down, at this point in time. But then all I did was inbox you and say, "Hey, I'm having a new show. Would you be?" And without any question, anything, you say, "Yes, I will." And I truly appreciate you. You are a good friend. I love you, and I thank you so much for being in being here with me on this show. I mean, just it's an honor. It's
It's
an honor because I love you. I do.
it's an honor. It's an
It
honor to
really
be in your space, and it's an honor to see you so happy doing what you're doing. So keep doing what you're doing, and let God use you and reach the world. Reach the
Yes,
world.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So y'all heard it here. I don't have to say nothing else. Y'all heard it here first on Inspire Talk on Inspiration 98.7. We'll see you guys next week. So make sure y'all come back. You guys have a good night. See you later.
Good night.